Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Sheen, your host. This is Money Matters. In this channel, we talk about money, finance, how to grow your money, how to invest your money, how to make money work hard for you. Check out my other videos, and if you like what I'm doing, please give a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. I appreciate it. It pushes the YouTube algorithm, suggests my video to other people, and helps me grow this channel. Also, if you haven't yet already, consider subscribing, and let's get started. All right, guys. Today, we're going to talk about Square. We're going to break down Square. I'm going to give you my opinions on Square, and I'm going to give you what I think they are doing in the future and why they are a disruptor in this industry that they are in. So Square was started by Jack Dorsey, also the CEO of Twitter. He started this company with the idea of growing, letting small businesses grow. Before Square was on the scene, small businesses basically had no way to accept credit cards. You had to either, take cash or take checks or, do a bank transfer. It was really hard for small businesses to grow. So they came up with this ingenious device. It was a Square device. You've probably seen it before. So there it is. It's a Square device that plugged into your phone, 3.5 millimeter jack, and the software was an app that you just downloaded from the App Store. And right there, you would just be able to swipe your somebody's credit card on your smartphone. So this was a game changer. It was definitely a game changer for the small business. You would be able to open a store, a mom and pop store, a coffee shop, music shop, something like that, and you'll be able to take credit cards. And you didn't have to go through the big banks. You didn't have to fill in applications or anything like that. You just download the app, apply for it. They send you a device, and you get started. So they were revolutionary when they came on the scene. So they have since grown. Now, if you've seen in your local small stores, I know in like small shops, coffee shops, small restaurants, I see a lot of these terminals. Basically, it's a whole unit. It's a cash register. It has a screen with their software. They work with you integrating like your menu. If, for instance, you have a restaurant, your menu items would be in their software, and it'll be a cash register. You will be able to type or tap what people are buying, and then it'll ring up their cost, and they'll be able to swipe their credit card. And so essentially, it's a full point of sale device. That's essentially what they are. They're a point of sale payment processor. They have expanded to also do online. So if you have an online store, they will work with you. Basically, have a website. Everything that you're selling will be in their system. People will be able to look through it, purchase whatever, and you'll be able to invoice them just all online. They'll be able to enter the shipping, everything, payment processing, and so they're able to take care of online businesses as well. So how does Square make money? Pretty much industry standard for accepting credit cards. So it is 2.6% plus 10% per transaction when the card is present. When the card is not present, if you have the customer's card and you key in the information, it's 3.5% plus 15% per transaction. And through online checkout using their online services, it is 2.9% plus 30%. And that again is roughly industry standard if you're using Square or Clover or Stripe. These are probably the top three payment processing companies in this space, in this category. And so recently Square has introduced their Cash App. Well, it's not recently, it's been a few years now. But so their Cash App is aimed at the opposite side, which is the consumer side. So Square is for the small business, small to medium business, and now they are getting into the consumer side. Consumer side meaning you want to send money to your friends. You go to some restaurant and you pay for something. Your friends pay you back. So it is all through the Cash App. Essentially, it's the competitor to PayPal's Venmo. Venmo is probably the most popular peer-to-peer financial transfer money app out there right now. But Cash App is quickly growing in popularity. So Cash App has increased profits 147% and 104% year over year. So in 2017, they did 7 million in monthly actives. 2018, 15 million. In 2019, 24 million. So you do see that growth in their Cash App. Also, Cash App is now able to buy and sell stocks, and you're also able to buy and sell cryptocurrency. So you see that they're trying to incorporate pretty much all of financial services under their umbrella. Cash App for the consumers, buy and sell stocks, cryptocurrency, send money to friends, make payments on things, buy things online. You're able to do all that through the Cash App. For their industry platform for their small businesses. They have the Square ecosystem. And what they are doing is they're trying to integrate all of financial services. So from both sides, from the consumer side and from the small business side. So think about it. If you're running a business, so you're using Square to do all your invoicings, all your statements, and all your point of sales, your transaction, credit cards, etc. And then you have employees. Well, you don't write employees checks anymore or pay them in cash. You don't have to get a separate payment system to do payroll. You have to sign up for Intuit or something, or do payroll through a separate system. You could also begin. I don't think it's available now, but this is what they are trying to incorporate. Is imagine if you'd be able to now do payroll also through the Cash App. Basically, pay your employees through the same system through the Cash App. So also, the Cash App is going to soon start being able to accept different currencies. So if you're doing international travel, you don't have to worry about going to this country, I have to exchange my money to euros or change my money to pounds or yen or whatever it is, right? It'll be all in the Cash App. You could accept different currencies, and then wherever you are, you could spend that currency. And so you don't have to worry about transfers and the fees and all that kind of stuff. So that is what they're currently working on. And you see that they are really trying to stretch their reach basically to encompass, like I said, all of financial services. So why did Square come into the scene? So we need to kind of go back to roughly 10 years ago. Like I said, small businesses, your single person photographer, your mom and pop shop, it was not that easy to accept credit cards. Square came on the scene and it changed all that. A lot of people in the United States, and I was surprised by this, are either unbanked or underbanked, meaning they don't use banks. Or if they do use banks, they don't have a lot of transactions. They're not actively using their bank account. So here, 25% of U.S. households are either unbanked or underbanked. Here is a map showing basically unbanked by states. So everywhere that there's dark blue is roughly, or at least 8% or close to 8% that are unbanked. That's a lot of the southern states: Georgia, Alabama, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, New Mexico. Also in New York, West Virginia, South Dakota. All those states, each state, roughly 8% of people, their population, don't use banks at all. So everything that they use is probably essentially just cash, not investing the money, not saving the money, just putting the cash under the bed, under the mattress or something. Here's a map showing the same states, roughly the same states, the southern states, are underbanked. So that's a higher percentage. Roughly in the dark blue, 21% of all these states in dark blue are underbanked. So meaning they might have a bank account, but they don't really use it. Or maybe they might have like a checking account, but they don't have a savings account. So essentially they're not using their banking account, their banks, if they do have an account. So that's a pretty high percentage if you consider the number of states, roughly 21% of all these states. If you're considering all the other shades, it's like 19% for the lighter blue shades. So if you multiply that out by the US population, that's a big population that don't use banks. So that kind of ties into the small business side as well. If you're not using banks and you don't trust banks and you're trying to run a small business, it's not really going to happen in today's society, right? It's like you pretty much have to accept credit cards if you're trying to run any successful business. Cash is pretty much unheard of in most of the rest of the world. In a lot of Asian countries and a lot of European countries, a lot of it's just being transferred through your app, through your phone, swiping your phone to pay for bus tickets, for subways and small businesses. It's all pretty much a cashless society. The U.S. is kind of lagging behind in this. So let's break down their numbers. We're going to look at their revenue, their profits, and whatnot. So revenue, total revenue. So this is Q4 of 2018. They did 9.33 million in Q4 of 2018. That jumped 41% to 1.31 billion in Q4 of 2019. So a 41% jump in their revenue. Definitely very impressive. How about their gross profit? Gross profit went from 380 from Q4 of 2018 to 527 million in Q4 of 2019, representing a 39% jump. Another impressive jump. Their net revenue went from negative 28 million in Q4 of 2018 to 391 million of Q4 of 2019. So That number does include a transaction of their side business, which was called Caviar. Caviar is basically kind of like Uber Eats. They had this small business that they basically sold off. They sold it to DoorDash. So that's why there is such a huge jump in their net revenue. So if you don't account for that, their actual net revenue in Q4 2018, sorry, Q4 2019 was actually 19 million. And so that's still pretty impressive, going from negative 28 million to positive 18 million or year over year if you are looking at just Q4 2018 versus 2019. So let's look at their balance sheet and know how much money they have in cash. So they have in liquid cash roughly 2.2 billion. And total assets of roughly 4.5 billion. And their current liabilities is 1.6 billion, roughly 1.7 billion. So they do have enough cash currently to pay off all their short-term liabilities. So that's definitely something that investor would like to see. They're able to pay off their debt if they had to. So a pretty decent balance sheet there. So Square is looking to basically disrupt the whole banking system. They're able to do all the transactions for small businesses. They're able to do peer-to-peer transfer of money. In the future, what they're looking into again is to transfer in between different currencies, encompassing their stocks and cryptocurrency. And the next thing that they also are doing is giving out loans. So essentially, they are becoming a full-fledged bank, incorporating everything that you need for small businesses and for the average person. So Square collects a lot of data. They know how much sales you do as a small business. They know your revenue. They know your payroll. They know how many employees you have. So they're able to say, oh, hey, look, we saw your revenue grow 70% year over year. Are you interested in a loan? We can give you a loan to help your business grow. So they're able to do the risk analysis. This company has been growing year over year. They're doing good revenues. They're doing good sales. Their number of employees are increasing. So from a risk reward standpoint, Square is able to give low interest loans to companies that they know are less of a risk. Because again, they see all their transactions. They see the growth of each company that uses their platform. So again, instead of having to go out to a bank, one of your big banks, Square is able to offer you a loan right there to help your business grow. So they are also getting into that space. It's called Square Capital. Again, they can also see your payroll, how many employees you have. So they can offer you payroll services as well as your company grows. So again, data is king. The more data a company has, the more information they know about you. The more information they know about you, the more they can offer you. And maybe not every company takes it, but at least if maybe only 5%, 10% of companies take it, that's additional revenue that Square is making just because they have the data. All right, guys, thank you for staying to the end. The video is getting a little long, so we're going to wrap it up. But Square is trading for $60 as of this recording, and I do think that is overpriced currently for Square, considering that it was trading for roughly in the upper 40s just a few weeks ago before the stock market had this crazy rally. So I don't see this rally lasting long. Like I said in my other videos, I think a recession is bound to happen. Basically the whole economy has been shut down for at least a month now. The global economy is still pretty much shut down. So what are all these people using Square doing? They're sitting at home. There's no restaurants that are open. There's no small businesses that are open. A lot of small businesses are unfortunately probably going under. Or the revenue is going to take 70, 80% hit. It's not going to come back just like that. So and that's the bread and butter of Square. Small businesses, small and medium-sized businesses, your coffee shops, your mom and pop stores. So all those stores are shut down. There's no revenue coming in for the last month. So Square's revenue is going to be hurting. And so their stock price should not be going up. That's absolutely ridiculous. I believe there's going to be a prolonged recession, at least 6 months to maybe a year, if not longer. When Q1 numbers come out, Q2 numbers come out of all these companies, we're going to see the numbers are going to be pretty bad. And so all these people that use Square, their numbers are going to be even worse. So I don't see why Square is going up. I don't see why their stock price is going up. So I'm waiting for Square to dip down into the lower 40s, preferably in the 30s. If it dips down into the 30s, I'll definitely be picking up a Square because I do see them growing. I do see them expanding their platform both on the consumer side and on the small business side. So guys, that's my breakdown of Square. Let me know if you agree with me. Let me know if you disagree with me. If you found any value in my videos, please give a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet already, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.